Dads from the Crypt.
Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to our Season 5 live stream of Tales from the Crypt. Tonight, we'll be watching Death of Some Salesmen and Forever Ambergris. Joining us is director, producer, writer, Gil Adler.
How do you do?
Good, good. And producer, writer, Alan Katz.
Hello, everybody. It is a thrill to be back.
Thrilled to have you. And welcome to everyone that's joining us. Feel free to leave comments in the chat, and I'll try to catch them and highlight them. If you have any questions, you can leave them there as well. Hope everyone had a good week, ready for the weekend. We're all pumped. While people are gathering, let's see. Season 5, was that after Demon Knight came out?
Oh boy.
Yeah. This is your life.
Everything before this morning is a blur, so that's a tricky question.
It could have been.
So tell me about the state of Tales from the Crypt going into Season 5.
Things were good.
I think we're really good. Yeah, I think everything was moving really well. We had great ratings. Everybody, including the partners, were pretty happy with the show. HBO was very happy with the show. Yeah, I think we were in pretty good shape.
Okay, sorry. Demon Knight came out in 95. This season was 93. So we're still before the movie era.
Right. So we were building up the value of our stock, because this was a really terrific season. We had great names. We were really going out on creative limbs, like we did with the first episode we're going to watch tonight. We were feeling on top of the world and on top of our game, wouldn't you say, Gil?
Yeah, I think the show was going really well. And in fact, we were looking to do things differently. We were just looking to figure out how not to do the same thing again, and sort of segueing into Death of Some Salesmen. You know, I always loved Alec Guinness playing 7 parts in oh God, what the hell's the name of the movie?
Kind Hearts and Coronets.
Yeah, Kind Hearts and Coronets. And, you know, one day I said to Alan, you know, even the partners haven't done a show where one actor plays more than one part. Now we don't have time for 7 parts, but what happens if we could find a comic book that would let us write something and use one actor to play more than one part? And then that's what led us to the comic book. And, you know, and then we started writing, and we started thinking, well, wait a second, we could have one character play Ma and play Pa, and their deformed daughter Winona. And that's what led to Death of Some Salesmen.
Yeah, what's really funny is that, you know, a lot of people watch the show. My generation watched the show when they're like, you know, middle school, high school-ish. And a lot of us, me included, didn't know who Tim Curry was at the time. And we were watching this when I was, you know, middle school, thinking like, how do you find 3 people that ugly that all look like they're a family?
It was a challenge.
Years later, really realized it was all the same person.
You know, with Tim, we really wanted Tim. We talked about it, and we really liked Tim. I had seen him in Rocky Horror on King's Road, the original in London, and thought he was brilliant. And you know, we called his agent, and the agent said, "Oh, you know, the dates don't work. He always goes to Mardi Gras in Rio de Janeiro every year, and you want to shoot in February, and that's exactly when Mardi Gras. So just forget about it. He's not going to do it. I won't even introduce you to him. He's just, you know, he's away. Forget about it." So we let it go for a little bit, and then, you know, we decided we would try again, and we called him up and said, we called the agent up and said, "Look, can we just meet with him? I know he's not going to do the show. I'm not going to try to convince him to do the show. I would just like to meet him and have a chat and take him to lunch and wish him well in Rio." And that's what happened. So I met him at the Chaya Brasserie in Santa Monica. And we started the meeting, and I said to him, I'm not going to ask you to do the show. I'm not going to try to convince you of anything. I promised your agent I wouldn't do anything like that. And let's just have lunch and talk a little bit. And we started talking about our theater backgrounds. We talked about Rocky Horror. We talked about El Grande de Coca-Cola, which was my first play. And we just had a really great time. And he said, why don't you tell me a little bit about the show? And I started telling him about the script and how Alan and I came up with it and what we saw of it and what we thought of it. And, you know, I could see the more I spoke to him, the more he seemed to really dig it. And I said, but, you know, you'll be able to see it. You know, I don't know who we're going to have to play it, but, you know, we'll get somebody good to play it. And by the end of lunch, he said, you know, I gotta tell you something. And I thought he was just going to say to me, you know, goodbye and good luck. And he said, I have to do this. I'm not going to Rio. And I said, oh, don't say that to me because your agent is going to be really mad at me. She's going to be so pissed off at me. And he said, no, she's going to be fine. I'm not going to Rio. I really want to do this. You guys sound terrific. And it sounds like we'll have a good time with it. And that's how we got Tim. And we did have a great time with it. And he became a really good friend to this day.
Now, Gil, I've heard you tell that story a couple times now. And I just need to know, is that where, did you have a plan there? Were you just trying to play the long game on that one?
Well, let's put it this way. I am a Hollywood producer, not a sleazy Hollywood producer, I hope, right, but a Hollywood producer.
You know how to work people.
Well, I was hoping it would happen that way, but I was certain it wasn't going to happen because the agent was so convinced. He goes every year. He's got a group of friends. They go. Nothing's going to get in the way of that. He's not going to not do it because of a 5-day commitment for a TV show. And I said, okay, I get it.
Now, if
but it goes to show you,
motives
you
are the
never
only
know.
motives.
What was that?
I said ulterior motives are the only motives.
Now, let's just say alternate universe. He said, that sounds great. Good luck. Who was your backup? Were you thinking?
Gee, do you remember, Alan? I don't think we had a backup.
I don't think we had a backup.
Wow.
I mean, at that point, you know, we still had time. I mean, if he had said no, we weren't going to not do the show or push it back. We would have said, okay, metal to the pedal, let's get somebody else. And we would have looked for someone else, you know.
It was such a tricky assignment that really the club of actors who could pull it off was small.
Yeah. All right. We have someone in the comments that says Manuel Baca here. I was in set dressing for seasons 3 and 4 and props and 5 and 6.
Cool. Hey, Manuel.
Being introduced to a new generation.
It's very exciting that Crypt is finally getting its time to sing and dance on a real stage.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's time to start with our first episode, Death of Some Salesmen. So everyone get it queued up. I'm going to play a little countdown video. Now, Shudder oftentimes will play an ad. You can skip it, but it takes a couple seconds. So while I'm doing the countdown's going, I suggest everyone press play just a few seconds, let the ad go if it happens, and then back it up so we can all start when the video is over. So without further ado, let me just get that queued up, and here we go.
Shelter. For anybody who's watching for the first time, we're so glad to pop your scary.
10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Watching fucking Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, John. Okay. Mine's buffering for a second, even though I downloaded it.
I'm rolling.
Okay. Skipping my ad. Okay. And we're off. Home Box Office presents. Mondo, if you wouldn't mind placing a time marker in the chat, like every 5-10 minutes.
I'll do my best. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good to
Hey,
see you.
Mondo, how are you, man?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
It's been a
to
minute.
see you.
Likewise. Just got home from work, so I'm happy to be here.
Glad you can make it. Me and Gil were talking about obsession earlier, and there's a scene where the woman is obsessed with a man, and he like asks her questions and and she starts going no, and like escalating. And I made a video where it says when people ask me, suggest that they skip the intro of the Tales from the Crypt, and I put that audio over it. Because
they just need to remove that skip intro button.
I know. who skips this intro? So again, Gil, you directed your first episode last season, and at what point did you decide I want to do another one?
By the way, we should point out that has everyone gotten to the Home Chopping Network?
Almost there.
Oh, okay. I'll pause. Let me know when you're there.
Okay, I just finished the intro.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, mine just decided to play a completely different episode than when I clicked on.
There we go. Is that Gil?
Yes, that is Gil. We should point it out. That is Gil for sale.
You had to point that out, didn't you?
Absolutely, positively. Anyway, I'm sorry. What were you asking?
So what point, Gil, did you say I want to do the first one? I want to do the premiere episode.
Well, it wasn't so much the premiere episode. I think the partners really liked the one we did with Christopher Reeve, What's Cooking. And I learned a lot from Bob and Dick, especially. And, Bob would always say he wouldn't do another episode unless it's different. And Alan and I, would go back and we'd go, what are we going to do that's different for Bob? Well, how are we going to write something that, is different? What makes it different? And so we did a few different things that made it different, and he liked it. And, when we were talking about me doing another one, I said, Alan, we should learn from Bob, and we should do something that's different. What's different? How are we going to make our show different? And that's when we started saying about what movies we liked. And I said, Kind Hearts and Coronets, and I loved Alec Guinness playing all those roles. I mean, it's amazing. And then the light bulb went off, and we said, well, why don't we do that with Tales? We can't do 7 parts, but we can do 3.5 hours. And then that made it different. And so we really liked that idea a lot. We wrote it pretty quickly, I think. And it was one of the first scripts that was really ready and everyone could sign off on it. And so it became the first episode. I think it was the first episode we shot as well. Alan, do you remember that?
Everything before this morning is a blur.
Because a lot of times we would shoot episodes and then we would change the order later on. But I think we did shoot this one as.
This one was close. It was close to the beginning, but I'm trying to remember which. I don't think this was the first one we shot. I think there was something else before this. Oh God. Because we were in production on something else while Todd was working, because he had other things that he had to get done. So it wasn't. This would have been easy at the top of the season simply because I think Todd would have had more time.
Yeah, probably.
But he didn't because it wasn't first. So.
And it became first because as we were finishing up the first 2 or 3, the HBO and the partners really loved this one.
Right. We usually had several in the can before we would begin dropping episodes. I'm trying to think. Usually we'd have most of the season done before we'd start dropping.
Yeah, but I don't remember what we did. I don't remember the order of what we shot.
All right, let's welcome Randall to the cast.
Randall, welcome.
Hello.
Randall, how are you, man?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good.
How's everything up north?
Very well. Are you in LA or are you back east?
No, I'm in LA.
Okay.
Randall, if you want to hop on the stream, we are minus 24 minutes and 30 seconds into the episode.
Do you have Shutter, Randall?
No.
Okay, that's okay. We'll
Which
walk you through the
are we
episode.
talking about? Because I thought we
Okay.
were talking about Tim Curry.
We are. We're
Yes,
talking
we are.
about the
Oh,
Death of
okay.
Some Salesman episode. So I mean, basically, we're watching the part now where Yvonne DiCarlo comes to the
Oh.
door.
Yvonne.
Yeah. Tell
How
me
is it
about
working
that.
with
That's such a
Yvonne?
random
I,
casting for a relatively small
I
part.
can talk about Yvonne Carlo. Okay. For sure. For some reason, I got assigned to take care of Yvonne DiCarlo, like make arrangements. I don't know. FA had me like make sure she could get down. She was living up in Ojai, I believe, and
Yes.
to make sure she could get down to LA. And I had all these conversations with her, and she was older, and but she was very grateful to have somebody telling her. It's like, well, honey, I don't know what I'm even doing. I said, blah, blah, blah. I said, Yvonne, I said, please, bring some choices that you're comfortable. Well, I got real fat. I don't look like I used to. I said, Yvonne, don't worry about that. I said, what I want you to do is you bring some choices that you think might work for your character. So you see, Ward and Neil took care of the main principles. And for some reason, I got Yvonne DiCarlo. And of course, I never got the credit for being the assistant designer, but that's all right. So anyway, Yvonne,
complaining?
and then she was calling me and saying, honey, how do I get down from Ojai? I'm like, because we were shooting, I think we were shooting in Santa Monica, right? We had that office in Santa Monica.
Yeah, but when we shot Yvonne, we were shooting
Yeah.
up in Lake
Piru, wasn't it?
Lake Piru, yeah.
Yeah, we were up at Lake Piru. And so anyway, so I kind of took care of her, and I said, look, don't worry about it. You don't have to come to the office in Santa Monica. Bring your things to the set, and you'll have your trailer, and you and I will work together in the trailer, and we'll get you. You're going to look great. And sure enough, and then I had somebody help her how to drive down from Ohio. Or did somebody go pick her up? I forget how
we had someone pick her up.
Somebody. So she was very, very nervous about that. Okay, so we get to the set. And I go in that morning. I remember it was raining, wasn't it? It was like really messy.
Yeah.
I think it was drizzling and raining.
Yeah.
And I got her set up. She seemed to be okay. And anyway, back and forth. Next thing I know, I'm coming back from the set, which was there at Lake Piru, and her trailer door opens, and she says, "Oh, honey, would you just come in and talk to me?" And I'm like, "Well, sure, no problem whatsoever." She said, nobody knows who the hell I am. Everybody thinks I'm Lily Munster, and I'm not Lily Munster. And I'm like, well, tell me. We had this long talk, and I wish I had been working at Paramount then, because that's what she wanted to talk about. The old days at Paramount. She wanted to talk about Eddie Bracken. She wanted to talk about Betty Hutton. She wanted to talk about all of her friends and what a family she had at Paramount. And again, little did I know I'd be working there for 23 years. But anyway, that was it. She was really, I don't want to say she was really sort of a lost person by this point. She just wasn't sure of herself, because she really didn't look like Lily Munster. She didn't look like she did when she was in the Ten Commandments. She was an older lady, and she had gained weight and blah, blah. I think it was about a month later in the mail, she sent me an autographed picture, and it was a photograph of her from her Las Vegas days when she would do a lounge act in Las Vegas, because she could sing. I mean, she was a singer, and it was great. I still have the photograph. It was an 8x10 and she signed it as Mrs. Jones.
I have the same photograph. On the last day of shooting,
I
went to her trailer to thank her and to say what a delight it was to work with her, and how excited I was that she did the show. And she said, well, I have a little gift for you. And I said, really? What? And she pulled out this 8x10 glossy.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, and my initial reaction was to say, who is this? Thank God I didn't say that. I just went, oh, wow. Fantastic. That's fantastic. And she signed it.
Okay. Yeah. She signed mine. She said, thanks for taking care of me. Love, Yvonne, Mrs. Jones. So yes, it was great, because I liked working with the older people, because we had something in common to talk about, But no, I remember that episode, and I was going through my photos. I don't know if you can see this or not, but with Tim, can you see?
Oh yeah,
wow.
yeah. That is,
That's
we are
awesome.
now in the episode, Randall. We are at the part where we've met Tim, we've met Pa. We have not met Winona yet, of course, but
Oh, we haven't met Winona. Well, here, there's there's
yeah.
Winona.
Oh, that's great.
All right, Randall, I'm gonna need you to email me some scans of those.
Because those
That's
were,
so cool.
yeah, I was going through a lot of my old photographs and stuff, and in the garage, I'm trying to clean out stuff in my garage, and I found an office box, and it was all full of Tales from the Crypt continuity pages. I didn't know I'd kept them. I didn't know I had it. And Polaroids, and of course, Polaroids are not stable. They're not holding up. But I got to sit down and go through which episodes that they were from, but they were all, fitting photographs from, because I did all the fitting photographs of the actors. And then these pictures I had, HBO let me have access for copies of some of these things. And so I do have a couple of the costume, the really nice, 8x10, but Tim was great to work with. I mean, I'm sure you guys have great stories, but he was willing to play. And remember the fat suit? He had to get into the fat suit.
Oh yeah.
Warden made this great fat suit, and it's just too bad because me, the hoarder and the archivist, I had saved all the costumes, and somebody came in and took them one night, and I had saved all the costumes from all the celebrity people who had done Tales up to that point, So sadly, we don't have those. But because I remembered that apron that he wore as the mother.
It's a great.
Hold on to that thing for a long time.
It's a great look for her. You really got a great look for Ma.
Oh yeah, I mean that was that was a collaborative, Warden, myself, and Tim. I mean, Tim had some choices in some of that stuff too, but like I said, he had to wear that fat suit, and also Ed was great, Ed Begley, because I'd worked with Ed before, so he was a really nice. He's a nice guy. The
Very
first
sweet
movie I did a mini series for NBC. He was in one of the co-stars of that. So yeah, I had worked with Ed before, but no, it's really fun, because I told you there was IFC was running a marathon of Tales from the Crypt. And I got to see 2 episodes, which I saw Yellow, which I hadn't seen in a long time. And also the one we did with Brooke Shields, who, oh my God, I can remember that so clearly, which it was rain, all the water. Remember the rain shooting up in Topanga?
Yeah.
And she was the nicest. And I had always heard, horror stories. I shouldn't be telling, these are not even related to what you guys are watching. So I probably shouldn't even tell stories. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that just brought back so many memories of she was soaking wet, and it's like in the trailer trying to keep her warm, covered up. It was great. So
I remember the first meeting I had with Tim and Ed Begley Jr. To discuss a little bit about the character and how we're going to do this. And I was scared to death, as I always was when I was directing. But I would say to them, we're going to have fun with this one. And as I remember saying, we're going to have fun with this one, almost stabbing myself in the stomach to say, what are you saying? This is going to take more time now. We don't have time. You got, don't try to be, you're not Dick Donner, and it really worked so well. And we did have a lot of fun with it.
But he was really like in the fittings. He wanted to play. He had his own ideas, and all the prosthetics and makeup were fantastic.
Yeah.
He looks so good, and it's really borderline disgusting, but really good.
Yeah.
Speaking
in a Tales
of which,
kind of way.
we are about to meet Winona.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's
Tell
just. Yes, go ahead.
Oh no! Tell me about Ed Begley, because I was just looking up his IMDb. He has 357 acting credits. He's still going. He was in a fantastic movie. I think it was last year, or the year before, called Strange Darling. Highly recommend. Mm-hmm. He has a small part in that, but it's still really good. Tell me about
when we cast Ed, he was always getting cast as the nice guy that he is. I don't think he'd been cast much, or if ever, as a rat bastard, as a con man. Right. So I think he really loved playing that character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did. And he was just a delight to work with. I mean, when we got together to talk about the characters with the 3 of us, it was just like riffing. I sort of felt like everything was in my head. And and they were articulating what was in my head if I wasn't articulating it. And so the more we talked, the more excited I got about working with these guys. And then when we finally got to the first shot, it was just fun. I really had a good time.
Now, Gil, tell me about the mechanics of shooting, different one actor playing different characters, because you just can't have them just like jump in another costume and everything. So like,
right. Well, we had a
like,
schedule. We had a schedule.
Yeah.
We shoot it in 5 days. So we had to schedule it so that, we couldn't change the makeup in one day from one actor to another. So we had to keep them separate. And there were a few shots that I really wanted to get, which had 2 characters in one shot, because I figured that would help sell that they're different people. And we never could get that. We had to keep it separate, which was unfortunate, because I thought that would have made it a much better episode. But
so
we really had to be.
Are there any shots where it's like you just put like the wig on someone else and just have them like sitting and then?
Yeah, but it's that, to me, that was cheating. I mean, that was like, you didn't see the face. I wanted to see the face to face so that people would go, huh? How'd they do that?
Yeah, I don't remember doing a double. I don't remember doing double costumes. I could be wrong, but I don't remember that.
No, we didn't. We couldn't do that because of the makeup and because of the time and because of the money. It just wasn't going to work out. And so we had to keep it very independent. So on one day we would shoot Ma, and one day we would shoot Pa, and one day we would shoot Winona. And then, of the 5 days, we would have to sort of orchestrate who's going to be on what part of the camera, so that we could get, at least we would get some overs or singles, and you would see a piece of another person that you would think was Ma or Pa and or Winona when they were playing against that. But we really never got what I really wanted to get, which was, 2 of these people in the same shot at the same time.
Yeah. It would have been great if we could have gotten that. It really would have.
Yeah.
Well, here comes Winona.
Here she is.
Here comes.
It's nice. I like the slow reveal because we're already like over halfway through the episode before we even like get to meet that character.
We were saving up for her.
Right.
Well, it's like the reveal of the monster.
Right, exactly.
and the monster is
Beauty and the Beast.
Indeed.
I remember saying to Tim at one point when we first started working with Winona, because he was a little nervous about Winona, because he said, "I'm not sure, how far I should take it." And I just said, "Go for it," And I said, "You could be more coquettish. I think it'd be funny if you're more coquettish." And that as I said that, I just saw the twinkle in his eye, and boom, he ran with it.
Yeah, like the moment that we just saw when Ed says something and Winona rolls her eyes.
Right.
What a lovely moment. It's just a great choice on his part there. Yeah. And there is something absolutely coquettish about Winona, which is both horrifying and hilarious.
Yes.
Disgusting and delightful.
Indeed. Oh no.
Now, when they do a fat suit, do they repurpose like the Meatloaf fat suit or anything? And just add,
No.
extra cleavage.
Everyone gets their own fat suit.
That fat suit for Meatloaf was intense, because I'm trying to remember. I remember Todd made the silicone like body for Meatloaf, which was really disturbing. There's another person who was the nicest guy. He was so nice to us. I was surprised. I had no idea what to expect, when I met him. And it's like, oh wow, so. But he had a fat suit, and again, because you sweat so much in those fat suits, it's really not fair to try to reuse it on anybody else. And even you got to spray. We have this spray called End Back, and End Back, anything like that, you spray it out and let it, kind of dry out overnight before somebody else goes, or somebody goes back, an actor goes back into it, because yeah, you're sweating and, it's disgusting.
Winona's underwear.
Yeah.
One of that was by design, one of a truly horrifying moment.
Yes.
Our friend Manuel, who did the props in the chat, says one night I was having to transport some of the dead bodies from the basement in my personal to my personal car. I was terrified of being pulled over by the police, thinking they were shoot me for asking questions.
It could happen.
I know Todd Masters. I invited him to come, and he's actually on his way down to LA for Monster Palooza, the big
right, yeah.
horror convention. And he tells me that like he brings like dummies and body parts and, and things in his car, so he's always like worried about that too. But sometimes he'll pop one up just to be fun. Does
anybody know? Did Todd save that dummy version of Meatloaf that was hanging by the hook? Does he say, or did they just after a while, because we have a hard time trying to keep prosthetics like that in the archive. Yeah, they have to be really kept cold and dry, and they decompose. So I was just wondering how much stuff Todd has kept from the show.
He's kept a lot of stuff. I don't think he kept that body part.
Yeah,
I don't think
he usually posts pictures of stuff, and he doesn't really have anything. I think it's a couple Demon Night Demon pieces.
Okay.
But yeah, there isn't the only like this prosthetic thing is like one of the few that I've seen, or like it's mostly just like a lighter or something from the show. There isn't that much that really survived. Though I do know someone who does have like some of the masks and stuff. Like he has, I forgot to mention last time, he has like Joe Pesci's like half of his head, and like the werewolf from The Secret, a couple things like that.
Oh.
So tell me about like filming this quote love scene. Like how do you keep a straight face?
I thought it spoke for itself. It was a love scene. Well, we had trouble. The three of us had, and Alan, I think you were there too. The four of us had trouble keeping a straight face. I mean, while we were shooting it, and me giving direction of what Tim's face expression should be, and what should happen, we just cracked up. We had to do a number of takes because we all just were starting to laugh, and I finally had to say, okay, we got to stop. This is serious business. Let's get back to business. But Tim kept all the delicious things that we had talked about, because we had talked about that scene early on. Because I didn't want it to be a sex scene for sex, but I didn't want it to feel stupid. I didn't want the audience to go, "Oh God, this is disgusting," or "This is really dumb." It needed to have that edge of crypt, but also fun.
Yeah.
And there was a really tight line there to make sure that we didn't step over one way or the other.
It had the same issue as when Michael came and went to score the scene. Michael made his first take on that particular cue. He played the joke, and the cue was all wrong. You have to play this moment seriously. And for Ed, playing the moment, the surprise of wow, that actually feels quite good. Wait a minute, I'm real. That was it was vital that he not play the joke, that he play the seriousness of his own physical reaction and his own surprise. If the whole thing gets pulled off into the next part of the story, because he has to be convincing to Winona. So it really is. The sex scene is a really complicated emotional scene.
So we're in the wedding scene right now, and we did get a shot from behind Winona and the mother with Pa facing camera. Yeah.
There you go.
So
I remember that wedding dress.
Were those stand-ins?
Yeah,
So,
the three characters playing together are absolutely fantastic here.
So were those just like stand-ins, like from behind? Just to okay. So you did do a little bit of that.
A little bit of that, but we didn't
Yeah,
get to seeing
just put
face
them-
on face.
Yeah.
You know,
There
there's
we
the
go.
scene.
Fighting
There's the
each
scene
other.
when Winona is strangling Pa.
Yeah.
You know, there's a tricky maneuver because we can't see her face there.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the mother. Yeah, so we have the mother behind her. Yeah, but your eye is focused on the action, not the faces.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, it's a complicated scene, and yet I think we managed to sell it
Mm-hmm.
quite well.
No.
And then Winona.
Yeah, like I went to Monster Palooza a couple years ago, and Tim Curry was there. My friend had an extra ticket for like he was doing photograph opportunities, and even now, just being in his presence, he just has like an aura. It just like radiates.
He's a special guy, he's a really good, good guy. And, I always said if I ever did another movie, I would really want to see if I could figure out a way to have a character that I could cast with Tim in the wheelchair.
Well, isn't the professor in the original Rocky Horror, at least the movie, in the wheelchair?
Yeah.
So I mean,
but now it's he doesn't have a choice.
Right. Because it's on the Broadway.
You saw Rocky Horror on Broadway?
No, my friend went and she was posting pictures. Shout out to Allison on the Who's There podcast.
The ending of this episode is so good.
Mm-hmm.
The con man conned. Genius. Restful Hills Memorial Park. And there they all are.
Well, now that's a prop I would love to have.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Now,
see, now we got two faces together.
This was a tricky shot, the threesome.
Mm-hmm. How'd you pull that off?
I closed my eyes. As I called action, I closed my eyes.
Then Winona comes to. The depth of the scam revealed. Yeah, I see. Now there you go. There's because that was a process shot, wasn't it, Gil? Having the three of them.
Yeah.
So you shot you shot like film, then you like reused it like 3 times.
Yeah, repositioned it. Yeah.
And yeah, that's really the only time we see all their faces in one shot. So we had to save it for the money shot, as it were.
Yeah, and it wasn't active enough for me. I wanted to show something that really made you feel like, how could they do that? How do they get that done? And we just didn't have the time to do it. We sort of worked it out, and then realized there's no way we're going to get that done.
Well, this is only like a year or two after like Back to Future 2, where like the Marty Michael J. Fox like handing off stuff to his family members.
Yeah, but they had a lot of time and a lot of money.
Even then, they're all sitting around a table, so like it's very static.
The Chop-O-Matic.
Can't go wrong with a Chop-O-Matic.
I'm biased, but that's a really good episode.
Oh,
yeah, it was. It was a good episode. I'm still, as you guys are talking, I'm remembering. It's like, oh gosh, yeah, I remember being there and watching some of this stuff. Like,
now,
okay.
We are watching a second one, Randall. I don't think I mentioned this to you. We're watching.
What are you watching?
Forever Ambergris.
And who's in that one? Because I always go by who's.
That's the
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah,
and,
I didn't work on that with Steve.
Oh, you didn't work on that one.
No, I don't think so.
and,
I don't think. What year?
And Roger Daltrey.
It's the same season.
And was that
season?
Gary Fleeter?
Yeah.
It must have been. Yeah. I don't remember Roger Daltrey.
You don't?
Oh,
But I
Alan
did all the
remembers Roger.
episodes, so I.
You have one of my favorite stories about this one episode.
About Roger Daltrey. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
we'll save it. Well, let's save it from when we get.
Yeah, we'll
going.
save it for the episode. Yeah.
All right.
Just for everyone watching and now or in the future, I want to thank everyone for watching, and please like and subscribe. Yada yada yada. It always helps us out and show us some love.
Well,
all right.
Let me know if you ever want to hear anything else. If it's an episode I worked on, I'm more than happy to talk about it.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
All right. So keep me posted. This is fun though. Again, it's like I said, watching that IFC, and I wish I was home to watch more of them. But it's like, oh my gosh, do I remember it all? I mean, because we had such a good time doing all these, even though there was no budget. It was you're stretching $1 every budget. And time constraints and trying to pull stuff off that was like, okay, how are we going to do this one? But we did it. We did it every time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So this is great. Have fun with it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Dropping there, Randall.
Sure, no problem. Anytime.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm going to leave.
All right. Randall's frozen, but I think I can kick him from the stage. There we go. Okay, let me just reposition everything. All right. Let's get queued up for Forever Ambergris. Mondo, is this one of your favorite episodes?
This is one of my favorites. Yeah, I love how gooey it is towards the end, and yeah, it's been a while since I watched this one, but yeah, I dig this one.
Yeah. All right, let's get the video queued. All right, we're gonna do the countdown and then we'll press play. Here we go.
For anybody who's watching for the first time, we're so glad to pop your scary.
10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Watching fucking Tales from the Crypt.
And let's press play.
Rocking and rolling.
All right, so tee us up for this one.
This was the first. Gary had done another episode. Was this Gary Fleeter did 2 episodes. He did this one and the one about the psychic, I think. With Kathy with Seance with Kathy Moriarty.
Right.
He did that one too. I forget which one he did first. I think he might have done.
I think Seance came first.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, Gary's a terrific director. He pretty much knew what he wanted, didn't he, Gil?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, he was very collaborative and yet had a sense of what he wanted to accomplish. So I thought that was pretty good. And I think that's why we gave him the second episode.
Nice.
And he wrote the script with his. I'm going up on his Rosenberg. It was he wrote the script with someone that he had written with the guy he did Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So they had written that together, and they wrote this episode together. They were heavy into lingo, as I recall. They really like to lard their character's script with the lingo of their trade.
Mm-hmm. The Fish Islands. Love it. And then how about casting for this one?
Well, I guess Roger. Once we had Roger Daltrey, that was incredibly exciting for some of us. That was.
I'm trying to think how we got Roger. I think we just made him an offer.
Into acting, or
I think we heard that he's into acting, and I think we just said, let's just make him an offer and see what happens.
We were thinking so big then. There was no. We thought we could get away with pretty much anything, and we were getting away with shit. So why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Roger Daltrey, The Who. I mean, when I was young, The Who was my favorite rock and roll band. So holy shit, getting Roger Daltrey to be on a little TV show, that was
That's so cool.
insane. Lizette Anthony was lovely too. She was a very lovely person.
A friend Manuel in the chat says, "I'll forever remember drinking Bushmills with Roger Daltrey in the prop gold room after rap. I never brought
there
up
you
the
go.
Who, which I think he appreciated."
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Rick Boda.
There's Steve and Raja.
And Steve was still like, this is early 90s Steve, and so he was still kind of character actor coming up.
He was a kid. Look at him. He's like a child. I'm not sure he's going through puberty yet.
He was also in the Tales from the Dark Side movie too, with John Harrison too. Wonder if there's any connection there.
God, it's funny how young Steve looked. He had such a character face. It was just he was going to have to grow in. He's going to have to grow into it at some point.
Here he actually does look like one of those. Hi there, I'm one of your kids, or whatever the meme is.
Yeah. Hello, fellow children.
Hello, fellow children.
You want to tell the Roger Daltrey story while we're
go ahead? We teased it, so go ahead.
Well, during this season, my wife is English, and her brother-in-law is a chef, and he came over, and for the season, because we were so, I guess we had a little bit of extra money to play with, we made Mark one of the craft services people. But in addition to craft services, he would did some food services for the executive producer, for the producers. And so he always had food. He was always cooking some food in a little kitchen that he had set up. And every day around 4 o'clock, especially if we were in the studio, he'd do tea. Whenever my wife would come to visit the set, of course, they'd have tea. When Roger did the set and he saw that at 4 o'clock, Roger did the show and he saw that at 4 o'clock, there was proper English tea being served. Well, he went and hung out with my brother-in-law having tea. One day, of course, Roger Daltrey's on the set. My wife went to visit the set because Roger Daltrey's on the set. And she had tea with Mark and Roger, and Mark introduced my wife as, "Hey, this is my sister, Helen." He didn't say the wife of the producer. And probably from Helen's point of view, it's just as well he didn't. And the next thing you know, Roger Daltrey is hitting on my wife. And at some point, after I guess Helen walked away, Roger said, I should tell you this. That is the producer's wife. I don't think he gave a fuck. And I don't think he was worried in the least. Like, what was I going to do? Compete? After the divorce.
Yeah. He won't get fooled again.
Certainly not.
But tis.
There's Lizette.
Boy, there is Lizette. She was really lovely.
I remember what else is she in?
I'd have to IMDb.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up.
She had done a couple of things. That's why we hired her.
Oh, yes. This is the episode with all the candles.
Yes.
That wasn't a fire hazard?
Sure it was.
like anxiety level of candles.
Gary was very particular about what he wanted. Well, I guess he wanted that hippie vibe.
Oh yeah, she was in Dracula Dead and Loving It. That's where I know her most from.
Right.
In Kroll. What else? Look who's talking now.
I get the feeling she probably expected to have more of a career than she did.
Well, she pretty busy in the 80s and 90s.
Busy, but she was quite talented. She should have been bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bigger projects.
Oh, definitely.
She's still, I mean, her last IMDb credits was, I think, 2022. So
Her last was 2022?
2019, 2022.
Tough world, man. Tough world. Roger's quite good. You know, I've been watching him. He was good with the camera. He really understood it. Not every musician does.
Right.
We had a great.
Usually play directly to the camera.
Yeah, we had a great experience working with Slash, who was a big fan of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But Slash isn't. You know, he doesn't have the presence that Roger does on camera, and no, Roger really knows how to look down the barrel of it.
Manuel in the chat says, one day Roger got frustrated with Gary and spit a mouthful of water.
One day?
Okay, this one of the days.
Yes, okay.
Spit a mouthful of water on him, and Gary said, "That's not cool, Roger," which Roger replied, "Yeah, but you'll be telling people about it for years."
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. And not at all shocking to hear.
There were also some Lizette stories with Gary, but we won't talk about those.
Oh, okay. So they're smoking a joint right now. Did HBO have any things about drug use in the series?
No, we told them it was a Baby Ruth.
Like content-wise, did HBO ever push back on anything like that?
The only I got very few, almost no content notes from them. The only content note that I remember getting about something, a scripted thing, Susie Fitzgerald, who was heavy, she was very much involved in taking care of LA's homeless even before it was fashionable. We used the word homeless in What's Cooking to describe Judd Nelson's character, and she asked us to use another word, and we did. That was virtually the only content note we ever got from HBO. But then HBO, yeah, we were on their air, but they didn't own anything. And so they had a certain hands-off attitude toward it. We would get notes from the partners, which we could take or leave.
Now, I want to know about the person who took when they went to Fox and they had to make them Fox appropriate, who had to go through all these and try to make those cuts.
Yeah, there was a separate edit for everything.
You guys got your money's worth with this plane set.
Damn right. Marshall Bell.
Oh, that guy, yeah. Starship Troopers, I think.
Yeah. Just one of those solid character actors.
What else? Total Recall. There's also Things to Do in Denver.
Yep.
He did a movie called Is That a Gun in Your Pocket?
Sounds classy.
I love going through random IMDb's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out again to Rick Boda's great lighting in this episode.
Yeah, really and truly.
I hate that mullets are coming back in style. It drives me insane.
Like ironic mullets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime something comes back as ironic, you're like, oh.
Fucking mullets and mustaches, just no.
Mondo is our resident music specialist. What's your opinion on The Who?
Oh, the Who's good. The Who made some really good stuff.
Tommy. Come on, man. Tommy.
Tommy and
Won't Get Fooled Again. Baba
Yeah.
O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like hating them for a little while. So I watched a lot of CSI, and the intro got annoying. But once I got over that, it was all
That's
good.
not their fault.
No, it wasn't their fault at all. That's why I got over it. I was
where did
young
you-
and trying to be tough and all that.
Where'd you guys film these jungle scenes?
Warner Backlot.
Yeah, did you guys ever try to go after like other horror big weights like John Carpenter, Wes Craven to do an episode?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't
I don't.
know that
I don't
we
think
did.
so. I don't think so.
Billy Friedkin was the only one that we.
Billy and
that was
Toby.
and that was because Billy was also a respected filmmaker. So we were always
Basically-
trying to bring filmmakers in as opposed to other horror guys.
Oh, they're filmmakers, but I mean, you had Toby Hooper.
Yeah, but Toby was different.
I
It's
think
totally
it's cool though seeing these stories through the lens of like non-horror people though. It kind of gives it a
That too, yeah.
different charm.
Frankenheimer, come on.
I think Steve Buscemi's hairline has been the same since this show all the way up until now.
I was just thinking he has great hair.
He does. He does.
It's okay, right? Whose doggy is that?
Oh, sure. The mic was going to filter out. That's Chug.
He's being noisy back there.
Your dog is barking, and my dog is sort of grunting when she hears the bark.
Mine's being chill. She's being very depressed and no one's paying attention to her.
Oh, Renfield.
No, that's Ladybird.
A ladybird, sorry.
Renfield is smaller.
Got a lot of good value out of that back lot.
Say.
Sold it quite well. You'd never know you were in the middle of the valley.
I made a clip of Gil talking about Joel Silver. So I went through Joel Silver movies and got pictures of Joel, and one of them was like him on the Predator set, like in the jungle and everything. I'm like, oh, can you imagine being stuck in the jungle with Joel Silver?
I was for 15 years.
There's a lot of digs here at Dalton's, fading star.
Anyone can get a good shot, even you.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I wonder if he related to that character at that point in his career. Justice for Ike. Hell yeah.
All right. Now the yuckiness begins.
Mm-hmm.
This is such good effects.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Oh, I really wanted Todd to come on for this one, but have a drink.
I mean, he does such a good job to kind of like hide the transition a little bit by cutting away and then cutting back. And every time he's looked worse and worse and worse.
You know, what's kind of horrifying is that there's an Ebola outbreak, and this is like Ebola. Really, because it's a thing that dissolves you from within.
Don't worry, because we left the World Health Organization, so we know we're safe. We're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're good to go, man.
Someone in the comments said I heard Dick Donner was not happy with this episode and how gross it was. Any thoughts on that?
I don't remember that.
I have no memory of that whatsoever. People say all kinds of crazy things.
Oh, or just
that aren't true.
Say it to someone else.
Oh, poor Steve.
Oh, so gooey.
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of salad is he eating?
I always love the shots when the face starts eroding. You can see the upper gums and the jaw, and it's always a great gross out shot.
Oh.
Damn, you hate when that happens, don't you?
Yeah.
The old cigarette in the eyeball gag.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh dear.
Being scared. Someone wants to know how long the makeup took for Steve Buscemi.
Boy. A while.
A while.
Probably,
That's a hard question.
you know, on hard days, they were probably like a 4 or 5, 6 hour makeup. So they would come in at 4 o'clock in the morning or even earlier to start makeup on some of them. Like with Tim, especially, we had him come in every day for many hours to get that makeup on.
And that was also a very complicated look for Steve. There was so many moving parts to it, so took a while. See, this is nice getting Paul Dooley in a small part.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Someone wants to ask any fun stories about Steve. Like, he seems very enthusiastic.
I'm sorry, about who? Steve?
Steve, yeah. Or was he just kind of overshadowed by Roger on the set?
Unfortunately for Steve, I think I met him a couple times, really, but
I think he was a pretty serious guy.
yeah. He was, and he wasn't Roger Daltrey.
No, you are.
And he really wasn't even quite Steve Buscemi yet.
Right. Ugh.
Ah, so good. And always such a great idea when this all happens on white bed sheets. The wrestler Ric Flair had it right back in the 80s when he cut himself. He always made sure his hair was that bleach blonde, so the blood just amplified in his hair, and so smart.
Oh no! Now, didn't Roger The prosthetic, of course, was made to look like Roger's nose was going, but I think because Roger, am I remembering this correctly, that Roger had done a fair amount of cocaine, and so he could flatten his nose to accommodate the prosthetic?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring that up.
That's crazy.
But hey, everyone's got skills.
Right.
That was whatever. Hey, Roger could sing rock and roll, and he could flatten his nose because. Hey, rock and roll, man! Sex, drugs, rock and roll. That's it.
Use what you got, right? Like,
Well, I love the irony of the drugs being used to kill him too.
Another one bites the dust.
All right. Any final thoughts on Forever Ambergris?
Well, what about you? How about some thoughts from you guys?
this is one of my favorite episodes of the whole series. I'm kind of a gore hound a little bit. I absolutely love the effects in this because it looks so good, and it's not over the top gory. It's like realistic gore, which you'd expect to happen, and that's really what I love about it, which kind of hits even more viscerally.
Yeah, I mean the gore is great. I like that it's more of a globe-trotting Tales episode, which we don't usually get. It's usually like within a couple sets around town. So I do kind of like that we actually are on a plane and we're in the jungle and we're here and we're there. So it's
Right.
it's a bigger episode, which is kind of fun, which fits with the Roger Daltrey of it.
We could do exotic. We were good. We could do exotic.
Well, we have exotic episodes, but you have some that are. This one's like globe trotting. We don't usually have a globe trotting episode.
Well, you speaking of obsession, what I think is great about obsession is people are calling it like the Lost Tales from the Crypt episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it could very easily be.
In that they get so much out of a small cast, small amount of small budget, and small amount of I guess sets. With a great payoff and a great story, and it just works with the classic the classic comeuppance I guess at the end. And I'm just saying, like, I love the fact that like this is the one that actually explores more sets, but I think there's a charm to the Tales of the Crypt episodes where it's such a small like world.
Oh yeah, it just makes it stand out more than some of the other episodes.
Yeah. Thank you. I was trying to get at that roundabout way. I'm tired. It's been a long day.
This one's always felt really super cryptian, and it's the nature of the gag in the end. People rotting in front of your eyes and attacking each other. I mean, that's it's like baseline crypt.
I like the term cryptian. That's a
Cryptian.
we need to use that more.
That is the proper adjective.
All right. Well, I think that wraps us up for tonight. Thank you, Alan and Gil, for coming on. It's a pleasure as always.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having us, man.
Thank you.
Alan, you want to shout out your podcast projects right now?
Oh, well, gosh, we've got lots and lots of podcasts. The big ones right now, of course, there's John Kiriaku's Dead Drop, which is top 10 on Apple's history charts. We're doing the second season, just started. It is in the first season, of course, John told the story of how he ratted out the CIA's torture program and then got sentenced to 23 months in federal prison. In season 2, he talks about going to federal prison and how the skills he learned as a spy served him extremely well as a federal prisoner.
Love it.
That's Dead Drop.
I'm working through season 1. Season 1 is really good.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm about halfway through and I'm loving it.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's just time.
Like I said, in season 2, he'll tell you what it was like doing time like a spy.
Awesome.
All right. Well, again, I want to thank everyone for listening. Yeah, please give us a like, subscribe on YouTube. For those listening on just the audio platforms, if you're on iTunes, leaving a review would be very helpful. We're also on Instagram at Dads From The Crypt. We're also on TikTok at under Dads From The Crypt Talk. And with that, I thank everyone for listening to Dads From The Crypt.
Thank you.
Follow Dads From The Crypt on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or I will follow you to the grave. No, seriously, you really should watch. But be careful what you ask for. You may get it.